Let's begin with a truth few dare to confront. The most powerful force in the universe is the power of thought, but only when it is harnessed in silence. That's not poetry. That's Napoleon Hill declaring war on the chaos inside your mind. Let me ask you, have you ever been your own worst enemy, trapped inside your head, not by reality, but by noise? That endless stream of racing thoughts, fear-based lies, and mental clutter isn't just annoying, it's deadly to progress. It's the reason you lie awake at 2 a.m., haunted by every mistake, every what if, every door you were too scared to open. You're not lazy. You're not unmotivated. You're drowning in internal noise, a mental battlefield where hesitation wins and action dies. You know exactly what to do. Launch the project, take the risk, speak the truth, but your mind floods with excuses and fear. That storm? It's not coming from the outside world. It's inside you. And if you don't master it, it will master you. Procrastination isn't a time issue. It's a silence issue. You've let the noise grow so loud that it overrides your inner drive. And here's the brutal truth. If you're waiting for the perfect mental clarity to act, you've already lost the fight. In this world of chaos, speed, and distractions, silence is no longer a luxury. It's a weapon. Mastering your silence doesn't mean suppressing your thoughts. It means disciplining them, turning confusion into clarity and doubt into decisions. Imagine this. The moment fear speaks, you don't flinch. You listen, nod, and act anyway. That's the power of trained silence. The average mind waits for motivation. The disciplined mind commands it. And that's why you're stuck, not because you lack talent, but because you believe you need to feel ready first. That's the lie. That's the trap. That's the invisible enemy keeping you in the same place year after year. Your thoughts don't need to be quiet to move forward. They need to be mastered, tamed, and pointed like a laser. You've been overthinking your way into paralysis. It's time to over-discipline your way into momentum. This is your moment. Not when the storm clears. Not when the fear fades. But now, right here in the noise, in the fire. You win not by waiting for silence. You win by creating it, inside your mind, through action, clarity, and self-command. Think about delaying a career move because your mind is flooded with doubts, turning what could be a bold step into endless hesitation. Failure to decide often stems from an unmastered inner dialogue, where conflicting thoughts create a storm that drowns out clear ideas. I've seen entrepreneurs with brilliant ideas get lost in mental loops of pros and cons, missing out on opportunities that won't wait. True silence, when mastered, cuts through that chaos, allowing you to make quick, firm decisions that propel you forward. Fear and uncertainty amplify this internal noise, turning silence into a breeding ground for doubt that holds you back. You might retreat into silence to avoid anxiety, like skipping a crucial conversation because your mind echoes with worries. It's like being in a quiet room where every fear bounces off the walls, making you miss chances for growth in your personal or professional life. This hesitation doesn't protect you. It robs you of the victories you deserve. The solution lies in mastering your silence to take immediate action, using techniques like brief meditation to clear the mental fog. When you act, even if it's imperfect, it quiets the mind and builds momentum that real motivation follows. For example, start a task despite the noise, and watch how overthinking fades away, replaced by a sense of progress. Try a simple silence ritual, like 5 minutes of deep breathing before tackling something important. It transforms hesitation into power. Strengthening decisiveness comes from using mastered silence to organize your thoughts and commit without second guessing. Practice exercises like journaling to silence the chaos, turning vague ideas into resolute plans that drive you forward. Make it a habit with daily decision-making drills. Sit in quiet for a moment. Choose your path and act on it boldly. Remember, the first step is always the hardest, but practicing a silent focus session can help you overcome that initial barrier. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Set a timer, quiet your mind, and tackle that pending task right away. By taking that one small step, you're breaking the cycle and proving to yourself that you can win now. Overcoming hesitation and fear starts with facing them head-on, using controlled silence to interrupt the mental noise. Techniques like visualization in a quiet state can help you confront fears, such as public speaking, turning doubt into empowerment. I've witnessed people transform their lives by acting despite internal struggles, dissolving fear through decisive moves. Learning from failure becomes easier when you master silence, reframing setbacks as stepping stones rather than defeats. For instance, after a failure, use quiet reflection to extract lessons, reducing future fears and fueling your progress. Building self-discipline is all about quieting mental distractions so you can push forward without relying on fleeting emotions. Daily silent reflection builds the fortitude to act, even when your thoughts resist, drawing from Napoleon Hill's timeless wisdom. True winners master their silence to maintain discipline in tough situations, turning challenges into opportunities. Start with positive habits like morning silent meditation to set your intentions, or end your day with quiet review to reinforce your gains. Simple practices, such as waking up early for 10 minutes of focused breathing, can silence distractions and boost your discipline. Creating a clear vision and goals emerges from a quiet mind, giving you direction and the motivation to achieve real progress. Unmastered silence scatters your focus, but when controlled, it sharpens your vision, turning desires into concrete plans. Sit in silence for 5 minutes and break your goals into steps, using this mastery to overcome mental barriers and align with winning now. Take Thomas Edison as a real-life example. He mastered his silence through quiet reflection and persistence, inventing despite countless failures. Just as Edison turned hesitation into hundreds of patents, you can master your silence today and claim your victory now. Don't wait. Start acting. Remember, the most powerful force in the universe is the power of thought, but only when it is harnessed in silence. Too often, that silence becomes unmastered, turning into a chaotic storm of racing thoughts and self-doubt that holds you back from the action you know you need to take. Picture this. You're lying awake at night, replaying every failure and what-if scenario, letting mental noise drown out your potential. This unmastered silence manifests as procrastination, where you delay starting that project or making that crucial decision because your mind is too cluttered with fears. It's not just about external distractions. It's the internal chatter that whispers, "You're not ready," keeping you stuck in a cycle of hesitation. In today's fast-paced world, waiting for that perfect mental clarity is a recipe for defeat, as opportunities slip away while you overthink. Mastering your silence means transforming this noise into focused clarity, where you control your thoughts instead of letting them control you. It's the key to acting decisively, turning what was once a barrier into a powerful tool for immediate progress. Don't fall into the trap of waiting for motivation to strike. True winners create it through disciplined silence. Consider how many ideas you've had but never pursued because your mind was filled with doubts like, "What if I fail?" Waiting for the perfect moment is a myth perpetuated by unmastered silence, leading to endless delays and missed chances. For instance, think of the entrepreneur who knows their business idea is solid but gets lost in a mental loop of pros and cons, never launching. Indecision thrives in this storm of silence, where conflicting thoughts create confusion and prevent clear choices. True mastery means quieting that inner dialogue, allowing you to make firm decisions quickly and confidently. Fear and uncertainty amplify this mental noise, turning silence into a breeding ground for worries that echo louder than your ambitions. You might retreat into silence to avoid confrontation, like dodging a tough conversation at work, only to regret the lost opportunity later. Imagine a quiet room where every doubt bounces off the walls, making it impossible to hear your own inner strength. This hesitation costs you in your personal and professional life, as chances for growth pass you by. But here's the shift. The power of action lies in mastering your silence first, using techniques like brief meditation to clear the fog. When you act immediately, even if it's imperfect, that single step quiets the mind and builds unstoppable momentum. Try this. Before tackling a task, take a 5-minute silence ritual with deep breathing to push aside the noise and focus. Strengthening your decisiveness starts with controlling that inner world, turning hesitation into resolve through daily practice. Journaling can be your ally here. Use it to organize thoughts and silence the chaos, making decisions feel effortless. Practice daily drills, like setting aside time to quiet your mind and commit to a choice, no matter how small. Remember, the first step is always the hardest, but mastering your silence makes it achievable right now. Facing fear head-on requires this controlled silence, interrupting the cycle of mental noise that feeds your doubts. Use visualization in a quiet state to confront those fears, like picturing yourself succeeding in that public speech despite the nerves. This transforms hesitation into empowerment, allowing you to act boldly and win in the moment. Failure is inevitable, but with mastered silence, you can reframe it as a stepping stone rather than a setback. Think of someone who reflects on a failure in quiet contemplation, extracting lessons that reduce future fears and fuel progress. Unmastered silence amplifies failure's sting, but when you control it, you turn every misstep into a victory in disguise. Building self-discipline is all about quieting those mental distractions that pull you away from your goals. Discipline doesn't rely on fleeting motivation. It stems from daily practices like silent reflection that build mental fortitude. As Napoleon Hill taught, true winners master their silence to stay disciplined, even when challenges arise. Start your day with 10 minutes of silence to set clear intentions, pushing aside the noise that could derail you. End each day with a quiet review of your progress, reinforcing habits that lead to sustained success. Positive habits flourish in this mastered silence. For example, use focused breathing to silence distractions and finish important tasks. A clear vision emerges from a quiet mind, turning scattered thoughts into laser-sharp goals that motivate real action. Unmastered silence scatters your focus, but when controlled, it helps you visualize success and create concrete plans. Sit in silence for 5 minutes and break your goals into actionable steps, overcoming mental barriers along the way. This is how you align your ambitions with immediate wins, ensuring every goal is within reach. Let me share a real-life story that embodies this. Thomas Edison, who faced countless failures but mastered his silence to persist. Edison didn't let doubts overwhelm him. He used quiet reflection to tune out the noise and keep inventing, leading to his groundbreaking patents. Just as he turned hesitation into hundreds of successes, You can do the same by quieting your mind and taking bold steps today. His story reminds us that mastering silence isn't about avoiding action. It's about powering through with focused determination. Now, as we wrap this up, remember that motivation and success don't precede mastering your silence. They follow from it. Silence isn't meant for inaction. It's your secret weapon to control your inner world and act powerfully. You've learned how unmastered silence leads to procrastination. But now you have the tools to flip the script. Start small. Practice a 2-minute silence exercise right now. Then take one decisive action toward your goal. Don't wait for tomorrow. What you do in this moment defines your path to victory. Imagine the freedom of a mind that's truly quiet, where decisions flow easily and fears fade away. You're capable of this transformation. It's within your grasp, waiting for you to seize it. By mastering your silence, you're not just surviving, you're thriving, winning now in ways you never thought possible. Let go of the mental noise that has held you back and step into the power of decisive action. Today is your day to rise above, to act with confidence, and to claim the success that's been calling you. So, go forth and master your silence, because when you do, you'll win now and every day after. Welcome to episode 198, where we dive into Master Your Silence to Win Now. Let's begin with a powerful quote from Napoleon Hill. The most powerful force in the universe is the power of thought, but only when it is harnessed in silence. This isn't just about being quiet. It's about controlling the storm inside your mind. Imagine your thoughts as a raging river, flooding your decisions and drowning your actions. That's the problem of unmastered silence. Endless mental noise that keeps you stuck in procrastination. You know that project you've been putting off? It's not laziness. It's your mind's chatter holding you back. Doubts whisper, "What if you fail?" And fears echo louder than your ambitions. In today's world, this internal chaos is everywhere, from the moment you wake up to the second you try to sleep. But here's the truth. Mastering your silence turns that noise into a weapon for immediate success. It's about transforming hesitation into decisive action, right here, right now. Why do you hesitate? Often, it's because you're waiting for the perfect moment of motivation. You tell yourself, "I'll start when I feel ready," but that readiness never comes. Negative thoughts take over, like a broken record playing, "You're not good enough." Picture this. You're eyeing a career change, but your mind fills with doubts, turning silence into a trap. This cycle of overanalysis drains your energy and steals your opportunities. Indecision creeps in next, born from that unmastered inner dialogue. Your thoughts clash like storm clouds, creating a whirlwind that blocks clear ideas. Think of the entrepreneur with a brilliant idea, stuck in a loop of pros and cons, missing the market window. True mastery of silence cuts through that storm, letting you decide firmly and quickly. Fear and uncertainty amplify the noise, turning your quiet moments into breeding grounds for doubt. You might retreat into silence, avoiding tough conversations or decisions, hoping the anxiety fades. But it doesn't. It grows, like echoes in an empty room, costing you chances in life and work. Now, let's shift to the solution. Take immediate action by mastering your silence. The power of action starts with simple techniques, like a brief meditation to pause the mental fog. Even 5 minutes of deep breathing can quiet the noise and propel you forward. Remember, action itself silences the mind. Start that task and watch the overthinking melt away. For example, if you're delaying a workout, Just put on your shoes and move. Momentum builds from there. Strengthening decisiveness comes from practicing mastered silence daily. Try journaling to organize your thoughts and silence the chaos, turning hesitation into resolve. Make it a habit. Every morning, spend 2 minutes in quiet reflection to plan your day. This builds the mental muscle for quick, bold decisions that lead to real wins. Now, practice. The first step. Don't wait for perfection. Set a timer for a silent focus session and tackle the pending task. Overcoming hesitation and fear is next on our journey. Face fear head-on by using controlled silence to interrupt the cycle of mental noise. Techniques like visualization in a quiet state can help you confront anxieties, such as public speaking fears. Imagine standing tall, silencing doubts, and stepping into the spotlight despite the butterflies. This transforms hesitation into empowerment, letting you win now instead of later. Learning from failure becomes easier with mastered silence. Failure stings, but in controlled quiet, you can reflect and extract lessons without the overwhelm. For instance, after a setback, sit in silence to review what went wrong and how to improve. Unmastered silence amplifies the pain, but true mastery turns it into fuel for your next victory. Building self-discipline is the foundation of lasting success. Discipline isn't about motivation. It's about quieting distractions and pushing through resistance. Daily silent reflection builds the fortitude to act, even when your thoughts try to hold you back. Draw from Napoleon Hill's wisdom. Winners master their silence to stay disciplined in tough times. Practice positive habits that support your goals, like starting your day with 10 minutes of quiet meditation. End your day with a silent review, celebrating wins and planning ahead to reinforce progress. These habits create a ripple effect, turning small actions into monumental achievements. Now, let's create a clear vision and goals through mastered silence. A quiet mind brings clarity, turning scattered thoughts into laser-focused direction. Use silence to visualize your success, making abstract dreams into concrete plans. For example, sit in silence for 5 minutes and break your goal into actionable steps. This overcomes mental barriers, aligning your efforts with winning now. Let me share a real-life example to inspire you. Think of Thomas Edison, who mastered his silence amidst countless failures. He tuned out doubts, reflected quietly, and acted decisively, leading to his groundbreaking inventions. Just as Edison turned silence into success, you can quiet your mind and take bold steps today. In conclusion, remember that motivation follows from mastering your silence, not the other way around. Silence isn't about inaction. It's about controlling your inner world to act powerfully and win now. Start with one small step today and claim your victory. In the hustle of daily life, that unmastered silence creeps in like an uninvited storm, filling your mind with doubts and whispers of defeat. Picture this. You're lying in bed, replaying every mistake, every missed opportunity, while the world moves on without you. This internal chatter isn't just noise. It's a thief, stealing your power to act and robbing you of the wins that are rightfully yours. But what if I told you that silence, when mastered, becomes your greatest ally, a tool to cut through the chaos and propel you forward? Waiting for motivation is a trap many fall into, believing that perfect mental clarity must come first before any step is taken. You tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow when my mind is clear. But tomorrow never arrives because doubts keep multiplying in that quiet space. Take Sarah, for example, who dreamed of launching her own business but spent months paralyzed by thoughts of failure echoing in her mind. That unmastered silence turned her ambition into inaction, a cycle that only breaks when you decide to harness it. Indecision thrives in this mental storm, where pros and cons clash like thunder, leaving you frozen in place. I've seen entrepreneurs with brilliant ideas get lost in endless loops of overthinking, missing deadlines and opportunities that slip away. True mastery of silence means creating a purposeful pause, not a void, where you can hear your true intentions and act on them swiftly. Fear and uncertainty amplify this noise, turning your inner world into a battlefield of what-ifs and regrets. You might retreat into silence to avoid confrontation, like avoiding that crucial conversation with your boss, only to let chances for growth vanish. Imagine a quiet room where worries echo endlessly. That's how fear builds barriers, keeping you from the victories you deserve. The solution lies in taking immediate action, using mastered silence as your launchpad to break free from hesitation. Start with a simple technique. Take 5 deep breaths to quiet the mental fog, then move forward, even if it's just one small step. Action has a magical way of silencing doubts. Once you begin, the noise fades, replaced by the thrill of progress. Strengthening decisiveness comes from practicing this mastered silence daily, like journaling to organize your thoughts and cut through confusion. Try this. Set aside 10 minutes each morning to sit in focused silence, then make a firm decision on one task. Watch how it builds your resolve. The first step is always the hardest, but it's where the power lies. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Just silence the excuses and start now. Overcoming hesitation means facing fear head-on, using controlled silence to interrupt the cycle of doubt before it takes hold. Visualize your success in that quiet space, picturing yourself delivering that speech or sealing that deal, and watch fear lose its grip. I've witnessed people transform their lives by mastering this. One client turned job interview nerves into confidence through brief silent reflections. Learning from failure becomes easier when silence is your tool, allowing you to reflect without the sting of regret overwhelming you. After a setback, sit in purposeful silence to extract lessons, turning what was a defeat into a stepping stone for future wins. Build self-discipline by quieting those distracting thoughts, creating a foundation where habits form without relying on fleeting motivation. Discipline isn't about pushing harder. It's about mastering your silence to stay focused, even when challenges try to derail you. Start with small habits, like beginning your day with 10 minutes of silent meditation to set clear intentions and build mental strength. Positive habits thrive in this controlled silence. End your day with a quiet review of your progress, reinforcing what works and letting go of what doesn't. Creating a clear vision begins in the quiet of your mind, where distractions fade and your goals come into sharp focus. Without mastering silence, your vision scatters like leaves in the wind. But with it, you can plot a direct path to success. Use silent reflection to break down your goals. Sit quietly for 5 minutes, visualize the steps, and make them actionable right away. Real-life examples show this in action. Think of Thomas Edison, who mastered his silence amidst countless failures to invent the light bulb. Edison didn't let doubts echo in his mind. He used quiet persistence to experiment boldly, turning silence into a forge of innovation. You can do the same. Quiet your inner noise, take decisive steps, and watch your ideas light up the world just like he did. In conclusion, remember that mastering your silence isn't about escaping life. It's about controlling your inner world to seize opportunities now. Motivation follows action, not the other way around. By harnessing silence, you flip the script and start winning immediately. Don't let unmastered silence hold you back any longer. Practice it today with a simple 2-minute pause. Then take that first bold step. Build on this habit daily, and you'll find hesitation melting away, replaced by the confidence to achieve your greatest goals. You're capable of more than you know. Master your silence, and the path to victory will unfold before you. So, go forth and claim your win now. Silence the doubts, embrace the quiet power within, and step into the success that's waiting for you. The most powerful force in the universe is the power of thought, but only when it is harnessed in silence, as Napoleon Hill wisely adapted his principles to remind us. In today's chaotic world, unmastered silence isn't peaceful. It's a storm of racing thoughts and self-doubt that keeps you stuck. Picture this. You're lying awake at night, replaying every failure, every missed opportunity, while your mind screams with what-ifs. This internal noise turns silence into a barrier, preventing you from taking that first bold step toward your goals. Procrastination becomes your default, not because you're lazy, but because your thoughts are too loud to hear your true potential. Why does this happen? It's because we've been conditioned to wait for the perfect moment, for motivation to strike like lightning. But here's the truth. Waiting for motivation is a trap, born from unmastered silence that amplifies doubts like, I'm not ready, or what if I fail? Take the example of someone delaying a career change. Their mind floods with fears, turning quiet reflection into endless overanalysis. This cycle perpetuates inaction, leaving you paralyzed while life passes by. Indecision thrives in this chaos, where conflicting thoughts create a storm that drowns out clear ideas and opportunities. Imagine an entrepreneur with a brilliant idea, but they're trapped in mental loops of pros and cons, missing the chance to act. True mastery of silence cuts through this noise, allowing you to decide firmly and move forward without hesitation. Fear and uncertainty only grow in unmastered silence, turning it into a breeding ground for doubts that echo like worries in an empty room. You might retreat into silence to avoid anxiety, skipping conversations or decisions, only to watch opportunities slip away. In personal and professional life, this hesitation costs you lost promotions, strained relationships, unfulfilled dreams. Now, let's shift to the solution. Mastering your silence is the key to immediate action, transforming internal noise into focused clarity. The power of action lies in techniques like brief meditation or mental pausing, which quiet your mind and propel you forward. Even if your thoughts are chaotic, start the task anyway. Action itself builds momentum and silences the overthinking. Try this. Use a silence ritual, like 5 minutes of deep breathing, to clear the fog before tackling what's been pending. This simple practice turns hesitation into progress, proving that movement generates real motivation, not the other way around. Strengthening decisiveness comes from mastering silence through exercises like journaling, where you organize thoughts and silence the chaos. Make it a habit. Daily decision-making drills, where you pause, quiet your mind, and commit to a choice, no matter how small. For instance, set a timer for a silent focus session, and dive into that project you've been avoiding. Watch how resolve builds. Remember, don't wait for perfect conditions. Master your silence and take that first step now. Overcoming hesitation and fear starts with controlled silence, which interrupts the cycle of mental noise and empowers you to face challenges head-on. Use silence-based techniques, like visualization in a quiet state, to confront fears such as public speaking and turn them into strengths. When you act despite doubts, hesitation transforms into empowerment, allowing you to win now rather than later. Failure is inevitable, but mastering silence reframes it as a stepping stone, not a setback. Think of someone who, after a failure, uses quiet reflection to extract lessons, reducing future fears and fueling progress. Unmastered silence amplifies failure's sting, but controlled silence turns it into a powerful teacher for your journey. Build self-discipline by quieting mental distractions, as this is the foundation for sustained success beyond fleeting emotions. Daily silent reflection builds the mental fortitude to push forward, even when thoughts resist or doubts creep in. As Napoleon Hill taught, true winners master their silence to maintain discipline in challenging situations, turning obstacles into victories. Practice positive habits that support your goals, like starting your day with silent meditation to set clear intentions. End your day with a quiet review, reflecting on progress and silencing distractions to reinforce your path. Specific habits include waking up early for 10 minutes of silence to plan your day or using focused breathing to finish tasks amid chaos. These routines create a disciplined mindset, where silence becomes your ally in achieving long-term wins. Creating a clear vision and goals emerges from a quiet mind, providing the direction needed for real progress. Unmastered silence scatters your focus, but when controlled, it allows for laser-sharp vision and concrete plans. Use silence to visualize success. Sit quietly for 5 minutes and picture your goals unfolding, turning abstract desires into actionable steps. Define specific goals through silent reflection. Break them down into manageable parts, overcoming mental barriers that once held you back. This process ensures your goals are aligned with winning now, not delayed by endless mental noise. Let me share a real-life story to inspire you. Consider Thomas Edison, who mastered his silence amid countless failures. Edison didn't let doubts echo in his mind. Instead, he used quiet reflection and persistent action to invent the light bulb and beyond. By tuning out the noise of criticism and setbacks, he turned hesitation into hundreds of patents, proving that focused silence leads to triumph. Just as Edison did, you can master your silence to quiet doubts and take bold steps today, transforming your life. In conclusion, remember that motivation and success follow from mastering your silence, not the other way around. Silence isn't about doing nothing. It's about controlling your inner world to act powerfully and claim your victories now. Don't let your silence master you. Instead, harness it as a tool for immediate action and unyielding progress. Start today with a small step. Practice a 2-minute silence exercise, then take one decisive action toward your goal. You've got the power within you. Quiet the noise, embrace the calm, and win now. Go forth and master your silence, for it's the key to unlocking your greatest potential and achieving the success you deserve.